Portland. Meanwhile, Minnesota is coming off a loss a couple of nights ago in Atlanta. The second of 5 runs today on ABC and ESPN, and we are underway. Now, Jay, they like to get the ball to P.J. Washington early, don't they?
They run a little low cross screen to get it to him, try to isolate it in the low post, but they're going to go to him. They want to reward him, but they also want to get him going.
That time, Klay Thompson misfiring on the jump shot. Connolly brings it across from Minnesota. Edwards being guarded by Kyrie Irving. Goes quickly off the triple. Finds a cutting Gobert. Punches it home.
Gobert, that's his 110th field goal. None of them have come outside the paint.
He knows where to butter his bread. Doncic in the paint. Lob city up top to Lively with a big finish.
And that was something that Minnesota head coach Chris Finch was concerned about, is the vertical threat that the big guys from Dallas provide. Very difficult to guard around the rim.
Edwards seeing a lot of bodies here. He kicks it out to Randall. Spins in a tough contested two. Left it on the front rim. Washington off to Thompson.
Anthony Edwards is more wonderful than this season.
Lively back out to an open Luka Doncic for 3. Got it.
Yeah.
Luka's up to 35% from deep after that aforementioned slow start.
The last 2 games that he played, he's 26 and 42 from the field. He is really shooting well.
He's helped by Kyrie Irving on defense that time. Edwards gets it back. Connolly on the wing, pulls it. Missed everything.
Yeah.
Field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, and free throw percentage. He has been brilliant.
He's shooting 88% from the foul line, and Jason Kidd was saying, yeah, I've been getting on him about all those misses. Maybe he should have left.
There's Randall. The GHO, Edwards touches the paint and draws the foul on Lively. Edwards and Luka are wired for sound. Listen up to this.
I'm Mike. I have nothing to talk about. You talk. No, not on your mic, on my mic. Merry Christmas, boy.
Yeah.
It's a certain type of luxury to be able to call out your shots, right?
Well, yeah, but you can call a shot like that.
Edwards didn't hold the 3, but they'll count it anyway, and we're tied at 5. Edwards is shooting about 10 of those per game, bringing about 41% of them. Here's Kyrie inside. Had it blocked by Edwards, back out to Washington. One more to Klay Thompson, who, by the way, with 2 more 3-point makes, will tie Reggie Miller on the all-time 3-point list.
Thompson didn't get that to go, but that's a great pass from Derek Lively the second to kick it out, and then the swing.
Daniels missed the tip, got his ball, got stripped.
Yeah. Yeah.
Edwards on the drive-by to a wide-open Randall. Good spray by Edwards for the 3. Offense has been a little bit of an issue for the Minnesota Timberwolves. This is a much different team than the one that played Dallas in the conference finals a year ago.
Yeah.
Great patience off that high ball screen. Let's just blast off it. Gets the defender on his hip, and then he goes back into that one-footed jumper.
Edwards on the crossover. McDaniels on the baseline. His floater is fewer. Tied at 10. And so far, a pretty good offensive start for Minnesota, the way that they've been shooting it lately. Kyrie, that one a little bit off. Randall with the pull.
Yeah, you don't see Kyrie this many of those. Rudy Gobert drop coverage. He was wide open.
Ball knocked loose. forced to play in crowd that time, out of bounds. It'll stay at this end, Minnesota basketball. And Klay Thompson comes out of the ballgame. Quentin Grimes will come in. Fourth year out of Houston, he provided a nice punch off the bench for this Dallas team that continues to get deeper and deeper. Nico Harrison, the general manager, has done an outstanding job.
Nico Harrison has made some really intelligent roster moves. Last year rated P.J. Washington and Daniel Gafford, and then Najee Marshall was a home run this year.
Edwards with his second three ball of the game. He's off to a good start. Chris Finch said that he wanted to get him a lot of touches early. Luke off the double drag. And Daniels with the steal. Quickly up to Randall. By Kyrie in the cross match. He draws the foul underneath. Julius Randle will go to the free throw line for a couple of shots, and Daniel Gafford may have been shaken up on that play. Moving out of the pack. It's going to be the first on Gafford. Using Randle for the free throw line for Minnesota. Randle coming off a 19-point game in Atlanta a couple of nights ago, along with 13 rebounds. Shooting 82% from the field. This game, the second of 5 today on ABC and ESPN. Randall knocks down the first, and our annual NBA on Christmas Day tradition continues on ABC and ESPN. 3 more of the best gifts anyone could ever ask for. Up next, Sixers and Celtics, followed by the Lakers and Warriors. Then the Nuggets and Suns cap the night off at 10:30 Eastern Time. All 3 games available on ESPN Plus, so you can watch anywhere. Randall knocks down the second. Minnesota off to a good start. They lead by 5 on a 7-0 run.
Minnesota, the top 5 defensive team in the league. The problem, as you pointed out, is that their offense has been a little spotty throughout the start of the year. Still getting used to Julius Randle, throw into the town, into the Lynch Randle team, to the Timberwolves. And Dante DiVincenzo still trying to get his feet under him. It's been a difficult slog.
Nobody would have imagined they would come into this game 14-14.
You thought they had it figured out a little bit, but then they got on this 3-game losing streak.
Yes!
Kyrie with another one of those magical shots with his offhand. One of a kind. Edwards elevates and got the lefty lay to fall in traffic. And boy, Anthony Edwards under the bright lights of Christmas Day. A perfect 3 for 3 from the field.
He can get those block drives where there's no help. That's where
Yes!
I think there are times when he shoots threes. They are an efficient shot for him. He's shooting 42% from 3. He's one of the takers. I think he gets to the free throw line even more. Which is where the driving lanes can come from.
Over Kyrie. That one halfway down and out. Gobert tried to keep it alive on the bounds. It'll be Dallas basketball.
Well, Anthony Edwards is having a great year. He has really improved that jump shot. You go under, he just pulls up and nails it. Beautiful form.
all the time on Christmas. He watched it with his mother and grandmother, who are no longer with us, unfortunately. But he's just raved about how excited he is. And when I asked his head coach, Chris Finch, about how he'd do on his first Christmas Day game, he said, well, look, I didn't know how he'd do in his first playoff game. And he scored 36 in that one in 2022 against Memphis. And when Edwards spoke to our Mark Spears, he said, you're doing something you love on the day you're supposed to be showing love. Why not play the game of basketball? It's my first chance, so I'm going to make the most of it.
And he's making the most of it so far.
Yes.
Tried to get it to go for Luka. By the way, as Kyrie pulls the three, Edwards had 24 points in the first quarter game against Dallas when they met last month in Minneapolis. They wound up with 37 in that game. But to Jordan's point, even when Anthony Edwards was in Georgia, played as a freshman on top three, that's a score assist right there. Good angle to the basket from Rudy Gobert. But he was a big game player back then. And I think Tom Green did a great job of kind of bringing him up to be a lead dog, but getting other people involved at the same time. I mean, I remember a game in Maui, he had over 40, just unstoppable. Kyrie put the heel up
Yes.
on his knees like pregame shackles a moment ago. What a fake by Irving, and the catch out by Luka. He's got 11 in the ball game. It's a one-point contest. The fake, but also the selfless ball movement from Dallas. And Daniels, don't you think this is an expertly constructed basketball team?
Yes.
Nico Harrison and his staff put a ton of toughness and skill around those guys for a good play. Certainly have. And defensively, they're a top 10 team. Here's Edwards on the break. Nas Reed running the lane, and it knocks away out of bounds. It'll stay at this end of Minnesota basketball. 4:09 to go. Spencer Dinwiddie and Maxi Kleber coming to the ball game for the Mavericks. Dante DiVincenzo coming in for Minnesota. He's the quote-unquote other player in that big deal with the Knicks that came over with Julius Randle. And Jay, it's been tough sledding for him shooting the basketball. He led the NBA in catch and shoot threes last year with the Knicks. He's only shooting 33% from three. He is much better than that.
Yes.
Grimes with a quick catch and shoot. And DiVincenzo with the board. Late, DiVincenzo shot a little bit better. He had 19 against Gold State with 3 of 6 from 3. Sixth man of the year, Nas Reed inside. Misses everything.
Yes.
For Dallas to take the lead. A quick rim run by Gafford had a mismatch. Cleveland inside. Nice pass. Gafford had it stripped. Good defense. And we're seeing a lot of bodies again. Grimes trying to stick him defensively. They blitz him. Gobert cross court. Kick out of bounds. Luke and Kyrie wired for sound. Hey, we gotta move.
When they on offense, 60 seconds, contested passes, not just shots. Yeah, like that, yeah.
On offense, he's making the right play. They both jumping up.
Breaks down from both those stars. You love to see the development, the burgeoning leadership of Anthony Edwards. Still just 23 years old. DiVincenzo with a show and go. Edwards with 7 on the shot clock. They flatten it out. Edwards off the mark.
Yes.
But it comes off to Alexander Walker. Threw up a wild shot looking for the call. But
Yes.
I don't think Luka Doncic gets near the credit for being as big and strong as he is. Well said. Dinwiddie blows by Reed. Out to Grimes on the lift. Got it.
Yes.
Terrific shooter Coach Grimes is. And he proved it.
It's they're each getting and their contributions on both ends of the court. Jay, it's hard to argue that this team won't be making an appearance maybe in June in the NBA Finals, or at least the conference finals.
I think, Mark, you can make an argument that Dallas is better this year than they were last year. They got all the way to the finals.
Yes.
Not just the moves that he compared some of his staff made this year. Usually Washington from Charlotte and Danny Gafford from Washington last year were huge moves, but I think changed the defensive makeup of this team.
Kyrie.
Yes. So just knock it down.
Jason Kidd is going to call a timeout and challenge the call.
Yep, he broke right into it, caused the offensive foul.
Nikhil Alexander-Walker was there to take the charge. The call on the floor.
Another timeout called by Jason Kidd.
David Guthrie is going to put on their headset and take a look. And we're going to take a short timeout and pay some bills. Back after this.
When you want something, you pursue.
American Airlines Center, we just heard official David Guthrie tell us that the challenge by the Mavericks is successful because the defender, Nikhil Alexander-Walker, had his heel over the line, which is considered being in the restricted area. Right there is right heel.
Breakfast burrito.
Kyrie Irving gets credit for the bucket and a free throw. So Kyrie
Yeah.
to percolate a little bit.
Nikhil Alexander-Walker was in perfect legal guarding position, but then he just moved that right foot over the line, and that took him away from legal guarding position. So not only does he pick up the defensive foul, Kyrie Irving gets the free throw.
Yes.
So Kyrie with 8, Luka with 11 on the bench right now. Anthony Edwards with 8 points in the ball game for Minnesota. Edwards also getting a breather. This is Alexander Walker, who's been Minnesota's most consistent player for most of the year. Randall, the hometown guy, laces the three.
Just give him a little bit of space. They're flat in the second. He ended up quick enough to discourage that shot.
Julius Randall from nearby Plano, Texas. Kyrie comes off on the three, rebounded by DiVincenzo. Minnesota can get a tie and take the lead on a three ball. Here's Randall. Back to Reed. Drives it on Cleveland with the lefty lay. We're not at the 24.
Really good at that side range. Get it to Reed off the run.
Dinwiddie to the corner. One more to climb. Lively hands it on to Irving. Gets it back. Dinwiddie on the probe. And here come the Timberwolves on the run.
Really good short roll pass to Derek Lively.
Randall, nice find inside. And the bucket is good. And Minnesota takes the lead on the lineup bucket. 0-1 for Minnesota. Is that what it looks like, Jay, ideally for the Timberwolves when Randall's on the floor?
Yes, they're going to have to do it defensively. I think try to get a little bit more flow in transition.
Lineup with the block on Lively. Alexander Walker on the move. DiVincenzo had a notion.
I think he's ready to shoot when he caught it.
Randall always ready to pull. And that's the end of the first 12 minutes of play. Minnesota leading by 2. Anthony Edwards making his first appearance on Christmas, and Luka another 50-piece in the offing. But Minnesota with the lead. This presentation of NBA Christmas presented by State Farm continues after this message and a word from our ABC station.
Now you. One to watch. Welcome back to the NBA on Christmas Day. Our access today brought to you by Red Lobster, who are Julius Randle of the T-Wolves. Great start for you guys here. What did you like most about that first quarter?
24-point first quarter. Our defense, the last 3 games hasn't been great, so for us to hold this team, we can score a lot of points in 24. Under 25 in the first quarter is good.
You're a Metroplex kid. What is it like to play on Christmas Day here?
Special. I'm looking at my mom right there. For her to be able to come to my game Christmas Day, I grew up watching these games, so I'm just blessed and honored to be able to play and put on a show in front of my family.
Julius, good luck. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, Merry Christmas, Jonesy. Back to you. I love it. Whenever you come home and play in front of mom and the family, there's a look at mom, Carolyn Kyles. Julius told me a story once about, as a rookie with the Lakers, coming back to Dallas, playing with the Lakers, seeing Kobe in the lobby, ready to go out to dinner with his mom and other family members. Kobe said, "You're not going anywhere. You're coming with me to get extra shots up at the local gym." And he began the routine that he still likes to carry out during his day when he's on the road. Mom took a rain check for dinner. Yeah. Kobe said he had to go. He had to go. Luka back in the ball game. Wide open Klay Thompson.
dribble. Forget it. Going off of Reggie Miller now for number 5 all time. He's up to around 39% on his three-point field goal. A slow start. You know, Jason Kidd was telling us how people underestimate how hard that can be when you play one team for 12, 13 years and move to a new city, new teammates, to break out of those old ways and develop new ones. And the challenge of listening to a foul as Randall went strong to the cup. Jason Kidd, even Klay Thompson said, give me 25 games to get used to things and to get comfortable. And over his last 5, he's made 21 of 45 from 3 coming into this one.
Averaging a little over 14 points per game right now. As Julius Randle goes to the free throw line for the Timberwolves, knocks down the first.
Alina Montana.
Brand new twist. And just for today, your NBA All-Star votes count 3 times. That's right. Don't miss this opportunity to leverage your 3-for-1 votes in support of your favorite players. Vote on the NBA app or head to NBA.com/vote before time runs out to triple your votes. Luka will bring it up against Alexander Walker. Randall now in double-digit scoring. He's got 10. Anthony Edwards still on the bench with 8. Cross-court Cleveland. Had it knocked away by Minor. Right to Clay on the flyby. Got it.
Yes.
And Dallas back up by a bucket.
That's his second 3, and I think it is. That ties it now with Reggie Miller for 5th all-time in threes made in NBA history. That is remarkable.
Even Chenzo with a good sign for him. Knocking down the catch and 2 3.
That one he was ready to fire as soon as he caught it. End of the first quarter, he was not. Probably should have fired that one out.
Play one more to Marshall, one more to the corner. Cleva. Back to Thompson, who relocates. Everything but the bucket. Luka with the follow. Yeah, Luka with the follow.
That kind of ball movement, that puts in rotation really hard to get a block on.
Alexander Walker shooting over 41% from deep on the season. A career year for him. Actually 43 from deep.
He's been the world's most consistent player overall. Now he's having to take on Doncic. Good fade.
Clay with a sidestep 3. Comes off underneath lineup with the pull.
Minus had some good minutes in this game. A lot of activity, very athletic.
Even Chenzo, another catch and 2 3. This one a little bit strong.
Yes.
Bring it across. They empty out the side for him. Skip pass to the corner. Up top for Lively, a little too high.
Just off, and that's that vertical threat that Chris Smith was talking about coming to this game. So far, Minnesota's protected the ring pretty well.
Alexander Walker with 12 on the shot clock. Here's Randall. Touches the paint, sprays it out to the corner. Reinhardt has it a little bit too strong. Minnesota's 3-point shooting right now. 6 for 14. And we're going to have an offensive foul against the Mavericks as P.J. Washington and Daniel Gafford come into the ball game for Jason Kidd. Anthony Edwards will come back into the ball game for Minnesota. He's got 8. We talked about his prolific 3-point shooting about 10 of them. He went to work all summer on it. He was very purposeful about it. Even after a couple of hours in a hot gym in Miami, watching him shoot for hours for Stan Rennie, and then up in Minneapolis with Chris Hines, the assistant coach. And he talked about having the same window when he raises the ball, and that's made all the difference in his consistency.
It's got to be really high level on those numbers. 10 threes taken per game at 42%. Only Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Dame Lillard have done that overseas, and he's in that territory.
Luka.
Yes.
Total control. Plays on the floor, gets a little rough, Daniel's just a bit behind, gets into his chest a bit, shot fake, and goes right into his body. Plays on 2 feet.
Doncic up to 13 on 5 of 8 from the field. Coming off of a recent injury stretch. He missed a couple of games with a...
Yes.
Moving a little bit better. He came back for the first in the last 3 appearances against Portland a couple of nights ago.
He missed those games against the Clippers, left game contusion, I think it was. He came back as a veteran.
Edwards splits the double. Wow, did he split the double? The deceleration move, and he turned it over.
Yes.
Third run of the ball game for Minnesota. Look in transition. Deflected by McDaniels, and here's Edwards on the move. DiVincenzo on the drive. Sprays it to Reed in the corner. Relocates for 3. Wow, that is a fortuitous move.
There was some English at the top of the backboard, wasn't it?
DiVincenzo makes it a 6-point lead for Minnesota. He's got 6 in the ball game. It's going to be a kick ball. It'll be reset on the shot clock to 14. Dallas basketball as Kyrie Irving comes back into the ball game for Klay Thompson.
Najee Marshall, 13 for Dallas being in the game, gives the Mavericks another quality handler. When he was at Xavier, he went from the wing to playing the point. He's an excellent ball handler.
Doesn't have enough playmakers. Kyrie double team. Washington pulls the 3 late in the shot clock. Gobert battling for the rebound. He's going to be whistled for a push on Gafford underneath.
Gafford is such a good offensive rebounder. Top 20 in the NBA. 4th in the NBA in offensive rebound percentage. Just gets that inside position. Got the off arm pushing him out by Gobert. But Gafford, he's playing his best basketball in year 6 after that trade from Washington. He was excellent against Portland. Had 23 points. Made some really good drives. Got in the line 14 times against the Blazers.
Really improves their rim presence as well. Luka with the fadeaway on the bin rule. Kareem's to the court, and Minnesota's going to have numbers here temporarily. Reed one more to the corner. DiVincenzo for 3, and he passes out. DiVincenzo has found his offensive rhythm.
Another timeout call by Jason Kidd. Gesundheit. Another Tim Allen TV show.
You're watching NBA Christmas, presented by State Farm, from Dallas and 2500 Victory Lane. Dallas Mavericks taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves in a rematch of last year's Western Conference Finals. Out of the timeout, Dallas down by 9 with the ball. Luka off the double threat. Here's Kyrie. Gets it back from Gafford. There's 5 on the shot clock. Time to get busy. And he does it as only Kyrie can. Is he really?
Yes.
He's not only spectacular, he's a kid referred to him as an artist, but he's so fundamentally sound in everything that he does. I think, Josie, he's the best ball handler that's ever lived. But it's because he's fundamentally sound in every area of the game. Watch when he goes up here. He goes up to shoot this righty and then puts it into his left hand to get it over Rudy Gobert. Just an outstanding finisher around the basket, incredibly creative, but that creativity comes from just the soundness fundamentally in every area of the game.
There's even Chinzo. Pocket pass to Gobert. 7 on the shot clock. And Rudy turns it over almost. Edwards with 3. He's got to fire soon. That's the first one. A 9-on-1. Santa Claus is in the building, folks. What about that?
That was all from Najee Marshall, just not picking up that steal that he should have had. It was almost like a cornerback that right in his hands for an interception, he drops it, and that led to that 3.
Here's Kyrie with the counter 3 at the other end.
Yes.
Just when you think you've got him bottled up, he really does.
One thing that Dallas needs to be mindful of, this is a really good defensive team in Minnesota. And I think the Mavericks have a little bit loose for the ball.
Oh, Gafford and Gobert. A slight altercation here. Gafford is displeased with something that transpired a moment ago.
No need to be afraid here.
Come on, Daniel. We all got presents, right? Most of us. Foul's going to go against Gafford, his second. Let's see what happened underneath here that precipitated that.
Just got caught up, and Daniel Gafford didn't like it. They're going to have some words, but it's not. Good job by Spencer Dinwiddie. That's a hold me back thing.
Yeah,
Hold me back.
yeah. Stop me before I get too close. Go around the league, though. And opposing centers don't like playing against Gafford a lot because he's extremely strong and physical. Edwards turns it over on the ball screen action. Dinwiddie in transition got a little bit too deep. He didn't turn it over. It was out of bounds. As Randall comes into the ball game for Nas Reed.
That's what we were just talking about. A little bit loose with the ball. That's what Spencer Dinwiddie. You get it down that way. You go ahead and take your shot.
Here's Brown. Gafford breaks through on drive. Never made it. Grimes with the offensive board. Irving drives the closeout. Back to Grimes for 3. McDaniels tipped it to Edwards. And being pressured by Irving, who, by all accounts, has put much more effort into his game at the defensive end. Look at him navigate that screen. But sometimes the other guy is just a little bit better. Edwards with the soft touch. He's up to 13 now.
Luka Doncic does it well, but the deceleration at the end of that drive is so difficult to deal with and difficult to guard. He almost comes to a complete stop. Instead of just blasting off here, which he can do, he just decelerates a little bit, lets Kyrie Irving fly by, and still able to get it to go down.
He told me that he learned that decel move at the beginning of last training camp from Luka Garza, his teammate, who kept beating everybody on that move.
You know who's great at that is manager.
Daniels with the rebound off the miss. Minnesota looking good offensively here in the first half. Edwards off to a good start with 13, working against Dinwiddie. Daniels one more to Randall. Tries to get it to Edwards in the corner. Unselfish to the fault that time. 70 on the shot clock.
Well, the Minnesota offense, I agree, was much better. This actual staff got to get mostly defense. Minnesota's played. They've been really active. They've been out in passing lanes, and they've protected the rim better than they have against Dallas earlier in the year.
Timeout. We'll be right back. that keeps on giving, Jay.
Well, he's got 13 points, Jonesy, but it's been really efficient, and he's mixed things up really well. You know, we talked about the number of threes that he can extend a game, making over 4 per game, and this one is just pure talent. But his drives are down this year. He's averaging about 13 drives to the bucket per game. That's down 1.5.
Yeah.
Things usually happen for him when he touches the paint. Lead is 9 for Minnesota. Kyrie off the curl. Working against McDaniels, a high arcing jumper. Comes off to Gobert.
Dan is such a good defender with that length.
Lowry has been conspicuous by his silence offensively so far.
Yeah. Oh.
Hustling for the offensive rebound.
Yeah.
Edwards, guarded by Grimes. Around the court by the screen, pulls the three.
Yeah.
And a ball on the play by Irving. And that's going to be a foul. Hey, let's take a look at the upcoming Christmas Day schedule today on ABC, ESPN, ESPN Plus, Disney Plus. Philadelphia, Boston at 5 o'clock Eastern Time, followed by Lakers at Golden State at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Then we cap off tonight with Denver, Phoenix. For more on these games, please go to NBA.com or visit the NBA app.
Celtics are so the 8 guys on that roster can really shoot it. Richard coming off the bench. That's spectacular.
Spectacular. He's got to be my sixth man of the year.
I would agree. I still don't know why they were for 6 man. Why did the 6 man then? Why not the 5th man? I'm saying. The last starter was
We'll drop that in Adam Silver's suggestion box on Monday morning. Meanwhile, Luka was called for a delay of game because he didn't have his jersey tucked in. And Luka might have been shaken up a moment ago, folks. He's walking. He's holding his left leg, and that's not an auspicious sign for the Dallas Mavericks. He can't even make an effort to get back on defense. This looks perilous. He is immobile in the backcourt. Off the miss. McDaniels with the offensive rebound. It's 4 on 3. The Mavericks can't even foul at this point. He's probably knocked down the three. Luka has been in that position walking.
Another timeout called by Jason Kidd.
Welcome back, everyone, to American Airlines Center. A wall of silence falling over the arena a moment ago because of this moment. Luka Doncic driving against Jaden McDaniels came to a stop and then immediately was immobilized. Had a hard time moving around, and he's right now being tended to by the athletic training staff inside the locker room of Dallas.
So whatever it is, you need to do it right away.
Irving missed everything. Good contest by Gobert. Now keep in mind that Dallas this year is 6-2 without Doncic. But there's clearly a way better team with him on the floor. No doubt to that. Here's Randall. Clear out the side for Randall. Daniels inside. Nice dime to Gobert.
That's where Randall, even though he had a matchup advantage against Kessler Goodwin, he can serve as a playmaker.
Hey, what does this mean for Dallas now, especially the offensive end with Luka sidelined for a little bit?
Well, you mentioned it. They're 6-2 without Doncic in the lineup. They can play without him. You just don't want to. And certainly being down 15 right now is not a good sign. They've not performed at a high level on the offensive end, largely due to Minnesota's defense. The Timberwolves defense has been excellent.
Dinwiddie going to the free throw line where he's an 87% foul shooter on the season. Coming off a three.
Yeah.
A couple of nights ago. Hey, the college football playoff continues with quarterfinals on ESPN New Year's Eve. Penn State squaring off against Boise State in the Verbo Fiesta Bowl at 7:30 Eastern. New Year's Day, Texas taking on Arizona State. What a great story the Sun Devils were this year. Under Coach Dillingham in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl at 1 Eastern. Then it's the Ohio State Buckeyes and Oregon in the Rose Bowl presented by Prudential at 5 Eastern. And we cap the night with Notre Dame and Georgia.
atmosphere to start the playoffs. I wish they'd play everything but the title game at a home site.
I'm with you, partner. As Gobert lays it in easily, the lead swelling to 15 for Minnesota again. With under 1.5 to
Small Billy and traffic jam.
Not doing a great job in this first half.
Lively missing from close range, and it's one and done for the Mavericks. Here's Connolly with a little pace into the front court. Runs some pistol action. Randall going to work against Klay Thompson. Good high hands by Thompson.
Yes.
And the subsequent steal. Dinwiddie for three. And the cold shooting continues. They're down to 33% from the field. They've missed the last 9 shots.
Part of it, they haven't been finishing plays in the lane and at the rim. They've had some lob opportunities they haven't been able to connect on.
Edwards out to DiVincenzo. The show and go. Up high for Gobert. Brought it down on the catch and got fouled on the second attempt. So Gobert going to the free throw line for a couple of shots, and coming up on the key at halftime with Malika, Stephen A., Big Perk, the Christmas Classic at Madison Square Gardens, and all that and more coming up on the key at halftime.
Talking about some speculation surrounding the Golden State Warriors, who we'll see a little bit later. Jimmy Butler will be one of the players involved there.
Big Perk used a D-Lo, Osman D-Lo reference where he says, the Warriors don't want a puppy, they want a big dog. And Jimmy would certainly be a big dog. I know you're familiar with Osman D-Lo.
I would, of course. I would like to see Big Perk as the GM in the league.
Hey,
Some of his ideas are a little out of the box. I would love to see those.
I'm with you. Gobert at the free throw line. Improved foul shooter this year. Gobert coming off a silver medal performance with the French basketball team in the Olympics. Edwards picking up Dinwiddie three-quarter court. This is the part of Edwards' game that really makes him a two-way star. You love to see this kid.
He's a spectacular athlete. And you're right, he is a two-way player.
I mean, he basically blew up their offense. There's only 5 seconds to go on the shot clock. Dinwiddie has to pull a contested three, and that's what good full-court defense does for you. Here's Randall. Edwards on the catch. 0.2 to go. Won't count. Didn't get it off in
It's
time.
halftime.
Still leading by 7.
Ain't nobody gonna play, man. Relax. Hey, so look, when I'm on a baseline like that, try to seal him. So you see how I wrapped it around you? I can just bounce it to you. Because if he's trying to play too, I got Dinwiddie. Watch this, watch this, watch this.
The words of Anthony Edwards. You're watching NBA Christmas, presented by State Farm, and this was the scene a moment ago. They had some time on the clock the kids did fill up the cart with some gifts, and you want to talk about real speed, Jay Billis. As they filled up their respective cards on Christmas Day. Let's take a look at our first half stats, brought to you by ESPN Bet, the official sports book of ESPN. And 33%, that's the number that jumps off the page. Minnesota's defense was pretty good, but the big story is Luka Doncic. George has more.
Jonesy, unfortunately for the Dallas Mavericks and Luka Doncic, his day is done. Left calf strain. This is coming off him already having a left heel contusion that kept him out a couple of games. When I spoke to Jared Dudley, their assistant head coach, about how they'll play without Luka, he says it'll be Spencer Dinwiddie and Kyrie handling the ball mostly, and that they're going to have to attack, touch the paint, and make sure they get everybody involved.
Next man up mentality, and boy, Luka Doncic, one of the top scorers in the NBA. And obviously, you would think that this would be a little bit more heavy lifting for Kyrie Irving and more minutes too.
Well, you're going to have to run offense with a little bit more force and pace. That was just a 16-point second quarter for Dallas after only scoring 24 in the first. Being held at 40 points in the first half, that is unusual. Give Minnesota credit. They did a really good job protecting the rim.
Conley with the lob for Gobert, and he punches it home. Yeah, that quarter was the lowest scoring quarter, Dallas, of the entire season. Right now in a 19-point home. Lively out top.
Doncic out of the game. That puts a different matchup on Kyrie Irving. McDaniel's starting him. He's got a ton of length and athleticism.
Daniels with the rebound, quick outlet to Julius Randle, who, by the way, had a great first half with 7 assists. Kind of under the radar there. Inside, and it comes off.
Yes.
making themselves available, finishing plays around the rim.
Klay Thompson guarded by Conley. Here's Irving in the corner. As you mentioned it, McDaniels trying to stick in. Kyrie with the giant killer a little bit.
Yes!
There's about 3 offensive rebounds per game.
One of the quiet leaders of this team. There's a look at the offensive rebounding.
And the rebound is going to be available for him. Look how high he gets up, because you have 2 Minnesota Timberwolves trying to block the shot. That opens up the offensive glass. There's nobody there to block him out.
We have a technical foul going against the Dallas Mavericks. Michael Conley knocks down the technical foul.
Looks like it was just a delay of game.
Oh, delayed
warning
game.
earlier.
Yep. Second one. You talked about Lively. Tyson Chandler, former Maverick that played on their championship team back in 2011. Has been doing a lot of work with him. You can see the fruits of that work.
And last year, Derek Lively's second was primarily a rim runner, offensive rebounder, roller off pick and rolls, and he's become better in the post this year, using either hand. He's not a guy, he's not Elijah on now, you can throw it in the low post, but he's really gotten better in those areas.
Thompson off the screen. Back to Lively. We're going to have a foul against the Mavericks. It's against Lively. That's going to be his third right here.
I've never understood that call. I'm not saying it's wrong, but he's got the ball. Shouldn't the defense have to avoid him? He looked like he was just pivoting. Yeah, how can you have the ball and then be a screener at the same time? When you have the ball, the defense has to adjust to you, not you to the cutting defender, the chase defender.
Randall working against Thompson, walking him down. The fadeaway is pure, and the lead has ballooned to 22. The largest of the ball game for Minnesota, who comes in here to Dallas today on a 3-game losing streak. Kyrie out to front. Relocates in the corner. 3 by Grimes.
Yeah!
Second half of the injured Luka Doncic, he has 6. Randall against P.J. Washington.
He's going right into isolation. If the double comes, he'll play out of it.
Tough shot.
Oh, they lost.